Morning all, you are listening to the Game Day Warm-Up on talkSPORT. Max Rushden. Charlie Baker here until 1. Vern in Sutton and Ashfield says, so gutted to hear about Kevin Campbell. Such an intelligent, lovely man, proper player, play with heart. God bless him. Jim in Solihull says, really sad news on Kevin Campbell. Please also give a mention to Matthias Sarkic, the young Millwall keeper who came through the Villa Academy. Seen Villa have tweeted about him, and Wolves has as well. He spent some time there, who also sadly passed away. Everton fan here, says Neil, I'm absolutely gutted. In tears, apart from a great footballer who kept us up, he had time for everyone. So gutted. Paul is an Everton fan, and he is called 03717 223344. Hey, Paul.
Hello, Paul.
Hiya, mate. You okay?
Yeah,
thanks. To hear about Kevin. I'm devastated.
Yeah.
I had a personal connection with Kevin. It was a one-off 24 years ago. Got invited to a meet and greet at Goodison, and at the time we were called the Premiership Graveyard. So we got to go up and meet all the players. There was Gaza, Mark Hughes, Abel Xavier, Kevin. And what happened was we went round, we got to meet everybody. And I remember thanking Kevin, for saving Everton, what he'd done. And we had a little laugh and that. And then at the end, we went downstairs to have the entertainment and the meal. And most of the players had gone. But Mark Hughes, Kevin, Gaza, Walter Smith come down, and at the time my partner Michelle was having our youngest child, our Molly, and she had a big bum. She never had long to go, and Kevin made a beeline. He come over and he said, oh God, he goes joking, he said, is the baby kicking? So me, Michelle and Kevin had a photo taken where he's just got a hand on a bum, and he chatted to us. Michelle gave him a big hug. She was in awe, with this big, handsome superstar. I'm surprised we're still together, actually.
What a great story.
He sat there, and, he was there a good 20 minutes, and he was genuinely interested. He was asking us, because we just bought our first new home, and he was asking us, and he was genuinely, I was there to talk about the football, but he just chatted about things. And, he was just, I can't even explain. And then at the end, we had another photo with him and Walter Smith. And, he gave Michelle another hug, gave me a hug, and then shook my hand, and then signed a couple of things. He just signed like our invitation. And then I'll never ever forget that day. And we always talk about it. And my youngest daughter now, Molly, she's not long turned 23. We always say Kevin Campbell was the first one to touch you on the head in your mum's belly and laugh about it. But yeah, and we followed him even when he moved from Everton, because we felt like we had that connection. But God bless you, Kevin Campbell. Honest to God, mate, I'm really sad that you've gone. Especially having that personal experience of meeting you.
Yeah.
And you know what? If anything happens, let's hope England win the Euros in memory of Kevin Campbell, because he was a battler. And if everyone showed what he showed, we'd have the World Cup now. But honest, God bless you, Kevin Campbell.
Thank you, Paul.
Thank you, Paul.
Let me speak.
No, you've done it brilliantly.
Paul.
Thank you so much for your call. We appreciate it.
Do you know what, Max? Sorry, I know we're going to take some more callers. Paul makes really good point.
Take care.
Thanks a
Paul.
lot, Paul. Thanks. Paul makes a great point there, which is he felt when a lot of ex-pro footballers and pro footballers, when you meet them, they want to talk about football, and if you don't talk about football, they're not actually that interested in you.
Yeah.
You know. Whereas with Kevin, you felt validated. He wanted to meet you as a human being. And I think that was what gave you that validation from him.
Totally interesting and interested. You know, two key things that we should all be. Bob is a Sunderland fan. Hey, Bob.
Hi, man. How are you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Bob. It's really sad news, isn't it?
What a horrible, horrible day this is. Me and Kevin, we went back 20-odd years. We were really good friends. I was good friends with Thea. And you never meet a more genuine, honest man in your life. He was a beautiful person. Beautiful person. When he lived in Wilmslow, he used to live next door to Tomo from Blackburn. They used to talk over the fence like just for fun. He was just so genuine. Tomo had to stand on a box, by the way, because it was that small. But it doesn't matter what you did. When you went to the house, they made you feel so welcome. Have this, have that. They were lovely, lovely people. It was my greatest pleasure to meet Kevin and be part of Kevin's family for a while. It was lovely. I've just texted Graham and told Graham you'll probably get a phone call off Graham in a minute.
Graham Sinnott,
Yeah.
No, it's totally devastating. You speak so brilliantly, Bob. Thank you, pal. I appreciate
Look
it.
after yourself. Thank
you very much.
Cheers.
Thanks for
Ian, the Forest fan. So speaking of sort of talking over the fence, and that sounds like because he was such a generous guy with his time. Kevin Campbell, he was viewing a house near my secondary school in Nottingham. When we were walking home, we popped our heads over the fence, and he said, "Hello, boys. If I move in here, we'll have to go down the park for a kickabout." Absolute legend. Rest in peace.
I suppose if you're quite tall, you'd get seen over a fence quite a lot. So
Kevin Campbell
Kevin
would,
Campbell over
wouldn't
the
he?
fence.
John's an Everton fan. Hey, John.
Hiya, boys. You all right?
Yeah, not too bad. Sad day.
Wow. Yeah, well, players come and go, don't they? It's about hundreds of clubs and hundreds of players, but few of them leave an impression like Kevin did. It was my ex-partner. I was in Wilmslow, and he came in London Bar and Grill, and she phoned me up. She said, "Kevin Campbell's in here. Kevin Campbell's here." So obviously I shot down with some Everton things that I had, and I said, "Oh, give him a bottle of wine and just tell him, we're season ticket holders." And she was so excited. It was, it was as if, like, he was a superstar. He was everything, and we went and just said, "Sorry to disturb you, Kevin. Could you just, and he said, "Sit down." He says, "Where'd you sit?" And what, and they're saying we follow home and away and everything. And he was just such a fantastic person, really. And then as we were talking, Tim Cahill came in, and it was it's just like the last caller said, unbelievable memories and such sadness. It's like I've lost a member of my family. I'm absolutely heartbroken, but what a great man and what a great legacy he's left. When I've never heard anybody say a bad word about him. And if you can leave the planet, made an impression like he did on a professional level and on a personal level as well, to be able to to say that, I don't think you can get any greater accolade. What a wonderful man and a sad day.
Thank you for your words, John.
Rest in peace, Kev.
Yeah,
thank you very much, John.
Yeah, perfectly put, and you're absolutely right. What is the point of all of this if you can't be remembered as being decent and kind? And that was Kevin Campbell. Michelle's an Evertonian as well. Hey, Michelle.
Good morning, Michelle.
Hi. I'd just like to say what a gent he was. He was really true gent. I met him. My son started going to the match with me and my dad. I've gone with my dad since I was a kid and started taking my son. And Kevin was his favourite player at the time. He was only about 6 to 7. And we went for cup tickets and he was with me and seeing the coach. And he wanted to go and meet him. And he said, "Hey, have you got a pen?" And he was like, no. Sorry, I said I wasn't expecting the team coach to be there. So we got off the coach, went to his car, got posters out, got him to sign everything.
Wow.
And he went, "Come on, mate," and took him back on the coach and got him to all the autographs and everything for him. And he was really lovely. And then the second time was at, and he'd finished at Everton. It was years later, and he was still watching Everton and Everton reserves. And he was sitting behind me at an away reserve match. And I just shook his hand and said, "Thanks very much for the goals that you scored to keep us up." I think it was 89, was it? 99?
99.
Season. And he was like, it was good enough, good to me as much as it was to you. I enjoyed it as much as you did. So he was really nice, really true gent, and so sad.
Michelle, when something like this happens, I always hope that the person knew what people thought about them. But I feel like Kevin gave out so much. He gave out so much. Your story isn't unique. Every single story we're getting is he gave me the time of day. He made me feel special. And so I think he probably will have felt that because it will have reflected back to him.
Yeah, I mean, as I say, he didn't have to get off the coach and go. But that memory has made my lad's days. He's 28 now, and I just got in touch with him, and he said, "Oh, I remember that day." Was it, So it's a nice memory to keep, but it's made an impact. Like just he probably hasn't realised that it's made that much of an impact. He's just being himself, but it's memories that other people will treasure, isn't it?
Yeah, and keep them forever. Thanks,
Yeah.
Michelle. Appreciate your time. Thank you. Michelle, Everton fan there. Look, keep your calls coming. It's just, it's so sad, but it's so lovely to hear what we all know, that he was just the loveliest guy, right? The phone number is 03717 223344. It's Max Rushden and Charlie Baker on talkSPORT. We're reflecting on the life of Kevin Campbell and just hearing from so many people about what a wonderful guy he was, and we know that as well. Dave Johnston is from the Falcon Blues Everton supporters group, joins us now. Hey, Dave.
Morning, Dave.
Morning, guys. You okay?
Yeah, good.
Somber morning, to say the least.
Incredibly sad. Look, we've already had people saying, look, he single-handedly kept Everton up that season. He was as we've said so many times, wonderful player, wonderful guy.
That's it. I mean, there's a phrase, isn't it? Don't meet your heroes, and that phrase doesn't mean nothing to Kevin Campbell. Probably the most genuine man I've ever met. An absolute gent. Just such a good guy to talk to. He'd take time out for you to do anything. And obviously, we'll all talk about his goals and he did save the club. He did, but it's the things after that as well that just make him out to be the person that he is. Yeah,
and he was just so pivotal. Like, he just sort of feels like that goal as well at Anfield, right? It would never ever be forgotten. That.
No, of course, but I think the ones that we have to remember are we were in a period where we had 8 games to save ourselves and quite rightly needed a miracle. And Kevin was that miracle. 9 goals in 8 games, secured his Premier League status once again. I know we've had our trials and tribulations recently, but I think that period when Kevin was brought into the club, that was probably one of our lowest, where we were genuinely we weren't scoring goals, we weren't winning games. Kevin's come in and done it in the 8 games that we needed, and has written himself into Everton folklore as a Goodison giant, not just a legend, a giant of this club.
I think with Kevin as well is that vitality and energy he had on the pitch. When you meet pros, sometimes after they finish playing, they seem like it's something gone out of them, a little fire's gone out inside them or something like that. With Kevin, it never felt like that. It felt like he managed to take that vitality just into the rest of his life and his retirement.
Absolutely. I mean, he's been a great advocate for social media and how you go about liaising and engaging with the fans. He had his time at Arsenal, at West Brom, and particularly Everton in our case. But he never made out that, I'm an Arsenal fan, I hate Everton, I hate West Brom, or I'm an Everton fan, I don't like Arsenal anymore, and things like that. He was down the line. He was genuine about his support. He listened to your opinions. He gave opinions back and treated you with the respect. And you don't see that much with players. Like you say, the fire has gone out, but he knew that he could get Evertonians going. He could get Arsenal fans going. He had that aura about him. Even when we've just been with him, when he's been at events at our pub in Kirby, he's just been a ray of light, and he's just been like, this is just brilliant to be in his presence, because he's just such a genuine fella. And that's what I'll take from it. We've built like a really nice friendship between our Falcon Blues channel and Kevin. So to have that is momentous, because you don't often get that with ex-players. And to get that from someone like Kevin, a man who saved the club, and just to be so humble about it, it's credit to him.
Yeah. Thanks, Dave. Appreciate you coming. We've got so many Everton fans coming on, so I want to try and get through everyone's stories. Dave Johnson there from Falcon Blues Everton supporters group. Ian's an Evertonian as well. Hey, Ian, really sad
Ian.
day. How are you, pal?
Yeah, just a bit of a sad day all round, really, mate, isn't it? I don't know, just a bit gutted this morning when I heard the news, But I met him once, It was about 2014. I was DJing in a club in Liverpool, and I'd just gone on, and the lad next to me was doing the lights. Said Kevin Campbell's over there, and I was like, I'm gutted, because I couldn't get it. That was shocking. Or that's it. Anyway, cut a long story short, 10 minutes later, tap on the shoulder, turns around, it's this big smile, this big broad Cockney accent. What's happening then, son? And you know what, mate? It made me feel boss, you know, because he ended up ordering a couple of drinks to one of the waitresses who was in the club. And, you know, the thing to bear in mind, I was a season ticket holder as well. You know, so when he signed for Everton, I think 99, I was like 24 then. So that was in, you know, when it's all about football. I mean, I'm 48 now, but then football's everything, isn't it?
Yeah.
And Everton were gone. Honestly, mate, it can't be get to enough. As Jared, your colleague said earlier, he couldn't remember when it was, but we were gone. We were absolutely, you know, relegated. And after he kept us up that season, we didn't really have a relegation battle until about 3 years ago. So the impact he had on the club and the people, mate, it's just what a man, what a guy, and he just made you feel good. Only met him once. I've got a photo of it. Cherish it. Just a sad day there, you know.
Yeah, perfectly put in, and that's it. You meet someone once, and you remember it forever. Tony's another Evertonian as well. Hey, Tony.
Hello, guys. I'm actually devastated about the news. I can't believe Kevin's gone. Look, guys, first, I want to pay my respect to all you guys out there on your station, because you bring some warmth. I mean, I've listened to your show for years now, Chappie, and what I'm feeling now is every club that Kevin Campbell represented, we should all come together. I know the rivalry and so forth, and this, that, and the other, and remember the man how he was and so forth. You guys are amazing. I mean, I'm going to miss his voice on your shows when he used to come on and chat, Chappie. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I'm just shocked. 54. You know,
it's no age, is it?
That's sad, yeah.
No, guys, but like I'm saying here, it's just that I'm going to miss him. You know, when he's come on with chats with Alan and Ali McCoy's there, do you know what I mean? And he just come in and chat, and so no cares and graters, the man. You know, never criticised any clubs whatsoever. You know, I mean, you get some pundits, you know, that criticise, you know, Everton deserve to go down, sort of blah blah blah, this and that. But he never had this about him. You know, honestly, I'm so devastated, mate, really, to learn that, because I wanted to introduce red cards for some of the pundits, you know, like we like footballers do, you know what I mean? But him, he was a god, you know, he was kind, he was gracious. But you guys, I mean, you got some beautiful stuff to work for you, mate. Honestly, you know, and respect to you all in that remit. But I've been in tears here, mate. I just can't believe that he's gone.
Well, look, you've spoken really well, Tony.
Thank you, Tony.
It's a difficult time, and we appreciate all the calls. Actually, Matthew is a Chelsea fan, but wants to talk about Kevin Campbell. Hey, Matthew. Hello, Matthew. There. I mean, there's so many texts coming through. We're going to talk to Alan Smith as well. Obviously, played for Arsenal with him for years and years and years. This from Kev, a gunner, just says the smile, the enthusiasm, the bow tie, the goals. Proud to call Kev a gunner as well. Mark from Ipswich says, very sad news. Kevin Campbell was awesome. I've not seen Tony Mowbray have any problems winning headers at Ipswich, but Kevin was the best I've seen in the air. Caused Tony such a problem. Strong, respectful, true professional. Condolences to his family.
Imagine your job
friends.
being marking Kevin Campbell.
No, thank you. Anthony is a Stoke fan. Hey, Anthony.
Hello, Anthony.
Morning, fellas. How you doing?
Yeah, not too bad. Sad day, of course.
Yeah, I mean, obviously with Matthew Sarkic as well, who was at Stoke on loan. I mean, it's not, you know, it's been a dreadful morning. But I mean, basically, I edited a Stoke fanzine back in the day, and I interviewed yourself during COVID, Max, for the magazine for Duck. And we did Kevin as well, and we did a number of players, Harry Suter and Bojan and whatever. And I mean, he's just a really, really warm, genuine, happy man. And the big thing for me from COVID, I remember the social media hashtag Be Kind.
Yeah.
And everybody said, oh, once COVID's finished, we're going to be this, we're going to be that. Well, Kevin was, and he was just an absolute diamond of a bloke. And the world is obviously a worse place without him. And I mean, the thing is, Stoke fans will have seen Kevin home and away following Tyrese's son, dressed absolutely immaculately, huge smile, had time for everyone, and like you say, you know, if there were more Kevin Campbells around, the world would be a far better place.
Yeah, it's perfectly put,
Absolutely
Anthony.
agreed.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you, Anthony.
We're still taking your calls because they're coming in. You know, of course, like when we came on air, like I said to Charlie, you know, what did we plan to do? A lot on Scotland, gently hammer Scotland. You know, Scotland fans will wait a couple of weeks and then you can hammer us back when we get knocked out.
They don't want patronising.
No, and you know, look ahead to today's games, and we'll do a bit of that in the next hour. But people want to talk about Kevin Campbell, and like, you know, we are the voice of the fans, right? That's what we're here to do. And so many people just echoing the thoughts that we have here, because we all know him, that he's just a wonderful, wonderful bloke. And Kevin Campbell, who's passed away at the age of 54. Alan Smith, of course, Arsenal legend, who played alongside Kevin for many years, will join us in just a second. We've got 2 Spurs fans calling now, you know, and like tribalism is big in football, but like, you know, like it's really interesting that they're going to pay their respects as well. Richard is a Spurs fan. Hey, Richard.
Hi guys, how we doing?
Yeah, not too bad.
Afternoon.
Afternoon. I think hit the nail on the head. You know, being an avid Spurs fan, and you get to hear like this sort of news, especially when it's associated with a similar age demographic of yourself. It's a tough one, man. And so I was many years ago. I was an apprentice Spurs as a YTS, and I was fortunate enough. We played against each other in an FA Youth Cup game, obviously a number of years ago. And if I told you there was a ball there to be won, it was probably 20% in my favour.
Yeah.
And obviously to say I came out second best on that one. I mean, he showed. If I told you he shoulder barged me, and he probably put me, I don't know, 30 yards on my backside and went flying. In fact, he's probably done me a favour. It was at that stage I probably realised that football was probably not going to be where I was going to make my money. And so I probably owe him a drink, and I'll toast one later for him. But look, gentle giant, and obviously as a young lad, you could see what's required in terms of a desire and work rate on and off the pitch to go and make yourself a name in the game. And you know, off the pitch, clearly he was a gentleman, but on it he was. My God, he was as strong as an ox. Tough guy, powerful, aggressive, and had obviously other attributes to his game. But it's a big loss, that one. And being similar age groups, it just sort of
hits harder.
Puts life into perspective.
Yeah, maybe there's a part of it that's that. Maybe that's why it's hit us a bit hard today. You know, it is somebody's your own age and from your sort of glory days. You know, so it's, that's tough.
Yeah, thank you, Richard. Appreciate it. Paul is a Tottenham fan as well. Hey, Paul.
Hi there, okay.
Yeah, good. Sad day, isn't it?
Very sad. It's just, I want to put the point across that you've come across so well, the caller's done so well. And I was brought a teacher that I would put him in the same ilk as when you reported when Ray Butch Wilkins passed away.
Sure.
And you come across so brilliantly. And Garrett and Goldstein had a debate last week about legends of the game, and these two are proper legends of the game, and they would be up. It's not what they do on the pitch; it's what they do off the pitch.
Yeah, I agree.
Totally
with you.
agree.
I agree with
you.
you.
Can see you choked up, Paul. Just want to get through as many calls as we can before the show ends.
Thanks for your call, Paul.
Thank you, Paul. Luke is a gunner. Hey, Luke, how are you?
Hiya, gents. Just a quick one. I met Kevin Campbell twice in my early teens. And his surname, similar to mine, E-double-L.
Yeah.
And his signature autograph looked so cool, I copied it.
You still got it?
I'm 46 now. I'm still doing it. Yeah.
Still doing it. That's an influencer. He's an influencer.
It wasn't the trickiest of autographs. And I signed my daughter's homework diary once. And my missus got called up into the school and said, look, George's homework is brilliant, but there's no need for her to copy your signature. My missus went, no, it's down to Luke. It's a long story.
That's his signature will live on. Fantastic. Lovely, Luke. Let's finish with Masood, who's an Arsenal fan. I hope I pronounced your name correctly, Masood. How are you doing? You okay?
Hi, Matt. Hi, Charlie. I'm a first-time caller. I listen to your show every single week and love you guys. I'm an Arsenal fan, like I said. I'm a bloke from Nigeria. I was just coming back and listening to radio, and I heard one of the callers break down, and literally it reminded me of my dad who died during COVID. He was just a lovely man. And Kevin Campbell, I listened to him on talkSPORT and Sky Sport. I'm literally breaking down right now because he's such a lovely man. I've never met him. I've never seen him play. but obviously I've heard him talk, and he's absolutely brilliant. And may he rest in peace.
I'm sorry about your dad, Masood. And thanks for coming on. He had that energy, right? You know, I don't know how old you are, Masood. You don't sound old enough to have seen him play, right? But just to hear him talk about the game and come on with such energy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I'm 36, but obviously I've never seen him play. I started supporting Arsenal during the late 90s, but obviously I know he's an Arsenal fan. He used to play for Arsenal, and I'm an avid Arsenal fan. But yeah, it just brings back memories, and may he rest in peace.
Thank you, Masood.
Thank you, Masood.
Perfect way to end the show. Thanks to all the calls, because without them, not easy to do this show.
talkSPORT is nothing without its listeners, and people. It's very nice when people want to share with us, isn't it, Max?
Totally, and not an easy job for the team behind the glass. I don't often praise them because, frankly, we do most of the work on this show. They barely turn up, but today, it's very, very difficult. They have to phone Kevin Campbell's friends and say what's happened, and then ask them to come on the radio. So to the guests who came on, you could hear how choked Perry was right at the start of the show. To all his ex-teammates, to the callers as well, right? Who totally make the show. The people who've messaged in, who've tweeted in, who called us. And thank you, Charlie. It's always easier when you've got a mate next to you to do this. Sad news about Kevin Campbell. I just hope that we have done him a tiny bit of justice, because we all knew him and he was a lovely, lovely man.